That is quite impressive. I can't do that.
I can't do more than one spin now.
That's fine. You just need to do one. It looks impressive.
Oh God, no! The thing's falling down my arsehole. No, no.
You mean by the thing? You mean my phone?
Your phone's. Oh no! No! God, it's falling out my arse. I'll go put some jeans on. Let's not mince words here. Master Shredder is fucking awesome. Next to the walking power metal album cover that is Lord Zed, he's one of the most famous and iconic Saturday morning cartoon villains of all goddamn time, which only makes the fact his design was partially based on that of a cheese grater all the more hilarious.
Those who are not with me are against me. I crush anyone who stands against me.
Karl, you do make a lot of eccentric and ridiculous claims on this channel.
Yes, I do. It's kind of my thing.
I'll be honest, I haven't lost faith in you yet. You do always back them up.
But I'm starting to get the feeling you might not be fully on board with the idea that Master Shredder, sworn enemy of the Ninja Turtles and the leader of the Foot Clan, was in fact inspired by a cheese grater. And you and the audience at home are probably thinking, okay, so Karl, what do you mean? Some artist somewhere down the line while drawing a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles comic was sort of inspired by the look of a cheese grater when, you know, like updating the look of Shredder. No, I don't mean that. I mean that the guy who literally came up with the idea of Master Shredder as a character based the entire fucking thing on him walking around his kitchen like a jackass with a pair of cheese graters on his arms.
Does anybody have any idea about who or what this is? I don't know, but I'll bet I never asked to look for a can opener.
So I'm assuming we're going to get some sources out in a second to confirm.
As we always do.
But let's just pull back to the idea of these ridiculous claims you make.
You're a big fan of these, aren't you? Because I can reveal, like, we've gone a little meta tangent here. Sometimes when we start recording, Brad will read the name of the article I want to turn into a video, and he'll just go, shut up. This isn't true. This isn't real. And then we'll go through the video and then go, oh wow, I guess you weren't lying.
On multiple occasions, I have, like, I don't know if you've noticed me do this, but I've checked your sources.
And you've gone like, oh wow, he's actually telling the truth, because he doesn't believe the ridiculous claims I make.
Because I've been, the occasional video in the past, I found like a fact where I've gone in and gone...
Or an additional one or something like that, or a date was wrong or something like that. But the kernel of the idea I'm trying to get across is always correct, and I love doing that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I take inspiration for that from?
What?
Horrible Histories.
Really?
Like, no, not the TV show, the books, because one of the things they always used to do is they used to like give you this ridiculous fact and then say, it's true. And I like the idea of just presenting this ridiculous claim that looks so stupid and just having a disclaimer saying, this is all true. And I've always been like, that's why I go out of my way to make my title sound as much like clickbait as possible. And then you click on it and go, oh, I guess everything that he said in that title was delivered. Like, my personal favourite being that time Jackie Chan admitted to liking horse pornography. Because it sounds so stupid. And then you click and go, oh wow, he's not making it up. Jackie Chan actually did do that one time. I've talked about this before, and the example I always bring up is the Gimpy Gimpy tree. And if people don't know, the Gimpy Gimpy tree, I think it's a small shrub or bush endemic to Australia, and it has small silica hairs in which is contained a very potent neurotoxin. Those silica hairs can remain active for up to a century after the plant itself has died. And I take that one little factoid right there and expand that to be like, you know, the meat of the article. It's like, this tree can sting you when it's dead. It's a zombie tree. And like, that's the way I approach like writing articles and videos. Master Shredder being based on a cheese grater, Kevin Eastman, the artist who designed and came up with the idea of Shredder, told someone in an interview, like, yeah, the idea of Shredder came when I was doing, like, you know, my pots one evening, or the dishes, I think the Americans would call it, and he put his arm inadvertently through a rectangular cheese grater, like so.
Oh, we've even got props today.
In this episode, I don't think I can fit my arm through this. I've got the Pringles tube problem going here.
I had my hand in it
hand's too
earlier.
big to get through the cheese grater. Or as like, you know, Mitch Hebert would call it, the sponge decimator. But like basically, oh fuck's sake.
Oh my, Master Shredder, I didn't see you come in.
Brad's tiny man hands could fit through this minecart, right.
Tiny man hands.
So basically, Kevin Eastman was doing his dishes and put his hand through a cheese grater like this and then started dicking around in his kitchen. And he thought to himself, this would be a really good villain.
Could you imagine a character with weapons on his arms like this? You know, the guy would be lethal.
And I'm looking at myself right now and I'm thinking, I don't think I'd be a very good villain. I don't think if the Power Rangers came down, it's like, and they said, oh, who's this week's villain? Like, Zordon. And I come up and I'm like, yeah, I am Cheese Grater. I'm like a burnt face man villain.
Without this burning face man around, I shall be free to splash people and erode metal over a period of time.
I'm going to take this off now, that really hurts. That's like a Pringles tube. Do you everyone says you remember where you were when, a famous person died? Like, everyone remembers where they were when Michael Jackson died. Everyone remembers where they were when, Princess Diana died. I remember where I was the first time I couldn't fit my fucking hand in a Pringles tube. God, man, 2010 or some shit like that. And I went to get some Pringles. Oh, man, some sweet cheese and onion. Cream cheese and onion Pringles. I only get them at Christmas. Yeah, went to put my hand in, couldn't do it. My little sister walks up, puts her entire fucking arm and gets them right from the bottom and walks off with the entire tube. I'm like,
my tiny man hand can still fit in Pringles tubes. You jealous?
no. Ladies, Brad's single if you're interested. He can fit his man hands all the way into a Pringles tube. The thing is though, now the ladies know, that's why we call him old Pringles tube Brad. You could have kept the mystery alive, but now they know. Back to Master Shredder and these fucking cheese graters. Kevin Eastman, after doing all this, you know what? Yeah. So he sat down and he designed the character of Master Shredder, and he put those, and you can look at Master Shredder's arm, you can zoom in, Brad, with all the things you can use on your computer, zoom in right on Master Shredder. You can see they are basically just cheese graters. And he designed his entire armor set around that idea.
Why am I wearing this ridiculous mask? Might as well put it back on. It goes with the rest of the outfit.
And do you know what I want to see now? And if someone doesn't do it, I'm going to be disappointed. Someone needs to go cosplay as Shredder with just covering themselves in cheese graters. They need to wear like a Pope hat. But the Pope has just a bigger cheese grater.
I actually want to request fan art of Karl covered in cheese graters.
No, don't do that. Don't try. Scribble a line from myself to close off this glorious mess of a video. In other words, the design of Master Shredder, one of the most iconic villains from Saturday morning cartoons, was directly inspired by some dipshit putting cheese graters on his arm, running around his kitchen trying to do sick martial arts moves. Why didn't that make it into the Michael Bay movies? I'll never know.
Seeing as we're getting a bit meta anyway, should we continue that and talk a little bit more about the process of making the videos?
Yeah, because we usually do like a shorter video with like a mini channel update at the end, so we'll turn this into one of those. I feel like we should address the fact, if it's not clear already, we improvise all of these videos. So I had a few questions about that. So how much of your videos are planned? It's like none of them. Brad can confirm we literally sit down 5 minutes before recording one, we click random on the website and pick one that we think looks funny, and that's what we do. And all we do is I read through the script once to memorise it, and then we make all the jokes and tangents and off-the-cuff stuff. That's all natural, it just comes from the flow of conversation.
The only lines that are ever planned beforehand, if there's a cut and immediately afterwards I ask Karl a question, that line is usually told to be by Karl.
Yeah.
Everything else just comes naturally.
Because there's no improvising like the improvising you do off your own lines, setting yourself up for joke. It's like heckling your own fucking show, innit? It's ridiculous. But yeah, we can talk about, like, people don't believe me when I say, no, it's all improvised. I used to be an improv comedian. We can actually talk, this is really funny. I used to be an improv comedian with a group in Sheffield called The Antics. We even performed at the Fringe one year, and I think our show was so bad. It was so horrendous because we literally, an improv show, if people haven't been to one, we ask you to shout out suggestions, like it's in 21 Jump Street. I was like, oh, give me an occupation, dildo. So you have to do that. And I think for our show, when we were at the Fringe, there were 2 people in the audience for one of them, and one of them was a reviewer for like some like Fringe magazine or something like that. And they didn't give us a suggestion the entire way through the show, and they gave us a bad review. Now I remember thinking after the fact, they literally had complete and utter control over how the show went. They could have tailored it to their exact taste and desires, and they sat there in complete silence and went, there wasn't much, and I think one of the things they said was there wasn't much audience interaction. There were 2 people in the audience, including them, and we talked to them during every fucking skit, and one guy just sat at the back giving the most stupid suggestions possible. We fucking nailed it. And I remember we were trying to like comb through this bloody like shit tier review, like 1-star review for a good quote we could use on our poster. I remember after about 10 minutes, one of the guys in the group went, guys, I've got it. and you just quote a little quote, an improv show, like the Edinburgh Herald or something like that. And we had that on our fucking posters. It was great. Oh, I used to love doing that, man. That was great.
Anyway, if it wasn't obvious enough that this is improvised, let's do a channel update, Karl.
Oh shit, yeah. Fuck. Okay, what's the channel update we're doing?
I don't know. We're doing
How's
alright.
the channel doing?
Isn't it?
It's doing alright.
It's like 235,000 subs. I think last time we did one of these, it was like 100.
Yeah. Doing alright, aren't we? That's not bad. Getting that big dick YouTuber money now, aren't we?
We are.
Look at that. When do I get to box one of the other YouTubers? That's what I want.
I think, first of all, you've got to go and find some dead bodies somewhere.
Damn it. Okay, so first step, find a dead body. Next step, I get to box somebody.
Well, I'm sure there's a step before dead body where you have to become a huge arsehole.
Oh, right, yeah. Well, I'm already halfway there. I'm an arsehole, I'm not huge yet.
So that's the YouTuber path. I keep adding new steps.
We've talked about the
done this
YouTuber path before, haven't we? First you get big, then you become a racist.
And then we and you have the squabble, don't we?
Oh, yeah, and then we make separate channels. And then, like, one of our channels, like, really fails, and, like, it'd probably be me. And I just get slowly drunker in videos I'm trying to grasp at the form of fame I once had. And I become washed up and start working in a supermarket.
And I'll become the super famous one. You'll get really pissed off when I start, like, shilling out and get a Patreon set up and dye my hair and switch it up. You're like, damn it, Brad's doing everything that we said we hated.
He's sold out.
He's sold out.
He's gone against his Nindo. He's gone against the fact Fiend Nindo. I hate it. And then I put on cheese graters.
You'll break out of a mental asylum where you've drawn loads of pictures of me with, like, the eyes cut out, and you'll come after me with cheese graters on each hand.
Yeah. So yeah, the channel's going great.